7 state champions on the football field have been crowned here in the state of Iowa, and one of those teams that sits atop the mountain is the West Lyon Wildcats. And joining us today on Coach's Corner is their head coach, Jay Roseboom. I want to thank you for being here, Coach.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So it was an all-Siouxland showdown against Spirit Lake for the Class 2A title. Kind of walk us through the lead up to that big game and kind of how it played out.
Yeah, it probably started off years ago when we started playing them consistently in the playoff basis, and we've won a few and lost a few against them. Last year we lost a heartbreaker 19-20 against them in the quarterfinals. Late in the game, we missed a late field goal and it was back and forth. And so we know their program quite well, know their coaches and of their personnel, and very impressed with their staff and with their players. So we knew it was going to be a hard-fought game, a good matchup, and our guys came ready to play.
Let's talk about this season. Obviously an undefeated state championship season, but from summer workouts to game one to the final game of the season, kind of walk us through the highlights of this year.
Yeah, I think our guys were extremely motivated after last year, and they put in the work, they put in the time, and they went out for other sports. They hit the weight room, they did the speed work, did track, and just did a great job of showing up and doing the work and trying to outwork the competition. And then we started the season, we had a lot of positions, we had a lot of competition, and so we were able to develop some depth, had a few injuries we had to overcome, and then getting most of our players back for the playoff run. And so our guys just gelled together and just got at the right time.
And to win a state championship, it takes a lot of unselfish play from offensive line and defensive line. So let's talk about those guys in the trenches. What really makes those guys motivated to really push the pile for you?
Yeah, for us, it all starts up front. We feel like if we can block and tackle well, that our chances of winning goes up quite a bit. So our guys came back last year. They all had starting experience, and so they're just bigger, faster, and stronger at that point in time because of the weight room and the things they did. Our starting offensive line of Bryce Cook, Elliot Snyders, Jackson Vermeer, and Carter Metzger, they all came back as starters from last year and just did a great job. And Mike and Luke joining as a sophomore. You also have to include Ben Myers, a starting tight end, which is an outside tackle for us, and did a great job of blocking and catching the ball as well.
And let's kind of talk about some of those playmakers. Obviously, that's what really drives the engine, gets the flashy plays, gets the scores. Kind of walk us through, who was making the plays for you guys and what they mean to this program.
Yeah, Bryson Childress was our starting quarterback for the past 2 years, and he really just kind of made it all work. He was like having a coach on the field. His father, Jeremy Childress, is the offensive coordinator, so they were able to work together and work some things out, and to scratch our itches, so to speak. We had several different running backs. We had Tate Hoff healthy after a broken collarbone. Evan Hildring was our starting fullback most of the year, and then late in the year we were able to get them both in the field at the same time, and Jackson Heiser was also a running back. Our wide receivers, Jordan Meyer, Jared Selesky, and Carson Hogeveen, all did a great job of catching the ball and blocking downfield for our guys.
And a state championship for seniors is kind of an interesting place to be because you already know that win or lose, it's your final game as a West Lyon Wildcat on the football field. Can you kind of talk about what this group has meant to you in this program and also what the message was to them after the clock hit 000?
Yeah, we had 17 seniors on the year, and they all were just valuable contributors, whether it be offense, defense, special teams. They all were a big part of our program and had worked hard and were just a great group to be around. They were talented and they weren't going to be outworked by anybody. And so, leading up to this, a lot of these kids were coaches' kids. They'd been water boys, ball boys throughout the years. So they knew the program well, and it was really special to see the coaches and their sons be able to bond together and enjoy the moment together. And as there were 4 of them. It's kind of bittersweet because we're going to lose those guys, and they were just awesome leaders for us. They really liked the we before me, and they just wanted to win, and they didn't care who had the stats. They just wanted to put the guy next to them first. So that was really, really fun. And they just provided great leadership. It was, it's just, this is the 10th time in my career we knew when the last practice was going to be. And so, the last Thursday practice at our place before we left off the dome, so this is our official last practice. And, you know, and happy and sad. And we said, let's just finish it. There's 13 steps to start the year, 13 games. So we wanted to get better every rep of every practice, every play of every game, and just keep climbing. And they end up finishing up on top and finish strong.
Absolutely, and 17 seniors is a lot, and I'm sure they've meant a lot to you, but what do they do for building the culture that, I mean, has already been very great, but for the younger guys and underclassmen on this team, what do they do for creating a culture that they can carry forward as well?
Yeah, they led by example. In the weight room, on the practice field for games, they just were, an experienced group of leaders, and uh, well done is better than well said, and they did a great job of doing things. And when they did speak, it meant something. So if there's ever any sort of issues, they would take care of it, and really an easy group to coach.
Absolutely, and obviously you've been coaching for quite some time. Kind of reflect on your journey and how much longer do you think you'll be wearing that headset?
I don't know. It's just kind of 1 year at a time, and I usually take 2 weeks after the end of the season just to reevaluate. Is it something that I still can do, something that I still should do, and am I still effective? And so after 2 weeks, we'll make some decisions. At this point in time, it's still a lot of fun to be around the players and around the coaches. I have to talk it over with my wife, and I'm planning on doing it in the near future, but we'll see how things go after 2 weeks.
You mentioned your wife right there. I think my final question is, again, because you've been doing this for so long, talk about kind of the sacrifice it takes on the family end for allowing you to, dedicate so much of your time to helping these young men.
Yeah, I'm married to Carol, and we've been married for quite a few years, and 39 years. She just told me, "You want to come in here, Carol, and talk to him?" Um, it's a big deal. It's a lot of time, so you need support from your wife and from your family as you work a lot of crazy hours, and you're just busy a lot. You're never really quite finished at night. There's always something to be done, and so to have an understanding wife and family is very important, or else you can't do the job. So I'm really, really appreciative of my wife and my family for allowing me to do this.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have on Coach's Corner. I want to thank you one more time, Coach Roseboom, for chit-chatting some West Lyon Wildcat football, and congratulations on your 2A title.
Yeah, thanks a lot.